Ah. There we go. I mean, I literally have Twitter open, usually in display on my monitor, like, most of the day. But anyway... Wait. Do I need to reopen this because it's not detecting my controller? I think I do. Just a moment. What does the intro look like? I haven't watched it in a while. Oh, there is no intro. Anyway. For when I cut up this VOD, I am starting now, and we return with 428. I've had 20 bad endings now, and I need to decide whose story I will continue now in the world of 1 PM. I think it's Kano's turn. Partly also because he's ended on a sort of cliffhanger. Oh wait, sorry. He's isn't. Hang on, wait. Yeah. Here we go. Did someone send an unscrupulous or otherwise outdated message waiting? Oh, then you're not hearing what I say. It doesn't matter. Or is this just a troll to try to see what I'm like under the guise of not being able to be heard? That is the question. Anyway, following Kano's directions, Stanley drove toward the crime syndicate's hangout. There was a good chance that this was where Maria was being held. Traffic was practically non-existent, and they made good time. They cruised down Miyami's Suzaka, and then drove past towards Dogenzaka. All the while, the two men stared out of the windshield, neither inclined to make conversation. They arrived at Shinsencho intersection. Take it right here, Kano said. You nervous? Stanley asked as he made a turn. His own tone was calm and level. Kano gave no reply. If this syndicate really was holding Maria hostage up ahead, he and Stanley might end up putting her in danger by showing up there. If it came down to it, Kano wondered, could he count on the man next to him taking the hostage's safety into account? Excuse me, it's Oyashiro-sama. He doubted it, but there was nothing he could do about that now. Thank you. You don't want the villagers of Hinamizawa to hate you. They arrived at the syndicate's hangout sooner than Kano had anticipated. It was a multi-tenant building in Tomigawa, Gaya, southwest of Yoyogi Park. The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. I'll take point, Stanley said. You back me up. He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI or CIA. Glock 17, a semi-automatic pistol developed in Austria for police and military use, notable for its incorporation of large amounts of polymer in its design. A certain Hollywood action film included the line of dialogue claiming that the Glock would not show up on airport X-ray machines, but since the gun barrel itself was made of metal, this is assuredly not true. Federal Bureau of Investigation, an American investigative bureau established by the U.S. Department of Justice in 1908, has authority in matters involving crime. Oh shit! Why do I hear myself? Why do I hear myself? Sorry. 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 Did it open? Oh shit, I know what. Did it open? Oh shit, I know what. It's because I was on your stream and it hosted me just now. Okay. Has authority in matters involving crimes that cross state lines, as well as threats to public order such as espionage and terrorism. Generally speaking, the FBI conducts its activities within the United States. Central Intelligence Agency, one of the principal agencies of the U.S. intelligence community, reporting to the Director of National Intelligence, possessing considerable budgetary resources and a vast network of highly trained personnel, the CIA carries out intelligence gathering and covert operations primarily overseas. In recent years, the organization has been devoting major efforts to counter-terrorism. Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. They immediately heard some sort of ruckus from beyond a wooden door at the far end of the hall. Please don't let this be what I think it is, Kano thought to himself. Sweat beaded on his hands as he gripped his gun tighter. Alright, I have nothing to say waiting since you can't hear me, obviously. He heard the sound of glass shattering. Then came the sound of something heavy falling to the floor. Maria, why can't you see her? Ignoring Stanley's previous order, Kano rushed ahead, kicking down the door, and stepped inside. He walked right into a massacre. It was the biggest, most awful event in human history. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor, as Drowning Pool would have wanted. He thought he recognized them all, the men who'd participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Ooh. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Had these guys all turned on each other? No, that couldn't have been the case. None of the victims was holding a knife, which meant that whoever had killed them must have been hiding nearby. No sooner had Kano come out to this conclusion that he heard a muffled cry behind him. I wonder if this is like, obviously it's just like their underlings and they've been killed so they can't, say anything or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's a cult. Stanley! The American was sprawled on the floor face down. Kano rushed over and knelt beside him. Stanley was dead, stabbed through the back. Oh shit, really? Without an instant's hesitation, Kano stood up again, gun at the ready. He scanned his surroundings, but there was no sign of the killer. But that was impossible. Stanley had been killed mere moments ago. Someone had to be here somewhere. Out of nowhere, he felt someone press the tip of a knife into his neck from behind, right at the base of his skull. How? He hadn't noticed anyone coming up on him. There wasn't even anyone else around. Nobody but the corpses scattered across the floor. Wait, the corpses? Kano hadn't checked them. Hadn't checked to make sure they were all really dead. With his last thought, he realized that had been his fatal mistake. I wonder how we saved this. This was only 10 minutes into the story. Alas, there's nothing to be done for poor Kano now. He wasn't prepared for whoever was wielding that knife. Sometimes it's best not to rush things. Kano and Stanley might not have had their run-in with the killer if they'd turned up a bit later. There's someone who can cause a traffic jam at 110, which should keep these two from meeting such a grisly end. I was thinking it's like, I thought Stanley was going to be a major character. It's like, surely they're not going to kill him off like literally 20 minutes after showing him. Alright, so not doing Kanos now. It's very creative. Like, I'm also really, I think this is why I want to pick Tama, because like, she was affected by Archie's forklift decision in a way that I'm not sure makes sense yet, because she had a bad ending because they couldn't sell the burning hammer, but now in the proper ending, the burning hammer is broken. Let's find out. Bottles of burning hammer litter the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. Alright, yeah. It looks like someone came along and actually threw them all over the place. Who would do such a thing? The heck with this thing? I toss away the miracle stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. We can't have a product demo without a product, which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. We can figure something out. I try to give myself a pep talk, but I hear the doubt in my own voice. I try to brainstorm away. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last, I arrive at a conclusion. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some burning hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get burning hammer. I may have to put in some new bottles, and possibly water it down some, but getting the stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark that's stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Cherry said earlier. This is the sort of thing they sell in 100 yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same one I saw at a shop that's selling the necklace. That's it. I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. Guided by this ray of hope, I head to the knick-knack shop as fast as I can, looking absolutely absurd to all of these people in this crowd, I'm sure. A glimmer, a sliver, the ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. Did she just hit Cherry? As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. Cherry was not in this original photo. It's Cherry. Oh hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Cherry nods, and I break back into a run. I'm not sure who was saying what then. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's burning hammer, alright. There's 50 bottles per box, and there are 4 boxes in total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagishita said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts at no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff, I'd like your entire stock. I point at the burning hammer and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn the extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate? I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. Tama has run to the 100 yen shop to buy more boxes of Burning Hammer, but as it turns out, they've apparently already been sold. After 5 minutes of waiting, the buyer still hasn't showed up. I don't think she's coming, I say. That's odd, the sales clerk murmurs. She said on the phone she'd come by just after 1 o'clock to pick them up. Because this is the 100 yen shop where Tama saw the necklace that she wants or something like that. I really need this right away. I understand that, but... Please. It's out of my hands. By now the sales demo has already started. If I come back empty-handed, what was the point of all this effort? Gimme. I already said I can't do that. Gimme. Would you please wait a moment? Grr. Why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Wait, but like... Tama has money in her wallet, but how does she access her wallet if she's wearing the suit? Grr. Why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Why did I put this stupid costume on? Why did I miss out on lunch? Why? What was it all for? Wait, what do they do in the VOD that's relevant? Eek, look over there, it's the Chupacabra! Huh? Yoink! Seizing the moment, I snatch up the boxes of Burning Hammer and make a run for it. I mean, I think Tama's suit has opposable thumbs, it's just kind of awkward. Hey, hold it right there, miss. The sales clerk is quick to bar my path. Woof. I barrel my way right past him. I bump him harder than intended as I race by. He loses his balance and goes crashing through the display case at the front of his shop. At the same time, I hear something topple over with a thud and a gurgle. Oh shit, this is Final Destination. As some sort of liquid begins to gush from a red polyethylene container. Uh-oh! The sales clerk's eyes go wide, his stare fixed on something in the sidewalk nearby. It's a cigarette! I'm almost convinced that they're going to show a photo of a fire they started in downtown Shibuya because they're that committed to this game. The burning butt ignites the liquid... Shit, I missed it. Is this another bad ending? And now for today's news. Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was an explosion at a variety store in Udagawacho in Shibuya, the cause of which remains unknown. Eyewitnesses report seeing an individual wearing a full-body catsuit fleeing the scene in the aftermath of the explosion. Police consider this individual a person of interest, and they have not ruled out the possibility that this bombing was a terrorist act. Several hours after the incident, the cat remains at large. I have not made a single decision and I've already gotten 2 bad endings. Fled the country. Tama wound up as the prime suspect in an apparent terrorist bombing. If the buyer had shown up earlier, Tama's argument with the sales clerk might never have happened, to say nothing of the rest, as a matter of fact. The buyer was just outside the shop at a critical moment. She was held up when she happened to run into someone. That someone's actions at 1:05 are the key to changing Tama's fate. I mean, at least the game is giving you the bad endings for me. But also, it kind of does answer... I mean... Hang on. Before I continue, let's do the other option and see what happens, because... Hey, oh yeah. I've gotten 2 bad endings so far, and I have not made a single decision. So it's going well. Oh wait, I did make this decision. Sorry. I'll just have to find something else to sell. But what could that something be? I try to think. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. Is this going to be the same? I rack my brain, searching desperately for a solution. Oh, it begins again. The Anagoshis? Nah, not exactly a must-have product. And even if we could sell a few, I don't know what they'd say about the folks carrying them around. Best for the whole world if we keep them off the streets. Let's see, what else? Aha! I've got it! I pick up the miracle stone I just tossed away, clutching it firmly in my mitt. I tilt my gaze towards the heaven and make a wish. Please, grant me a miracle. This is like literally 2 minutes after disavowing this as a useless bad luck charm. And my wish is granted. Wait, if you win what? Oh wait, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but how would they pay them? I'd like one, please. I'll take 10. Mr. Yanagisha can barely keep up with the demand as the crowd clamors for their miracle stones. Everyone is smiling and laughing, their bodies enthusiastically swaying to and fro. You are happy, and you are happy. You are all very, very happy. Standing on stage, I hold up my miracle stone, swinging it like a pendulum as I recite my magic little chant. I want to hold on this screen for a while. Bye, bye, buy a miracle stone. The leader is good, the leader is great. We surrender our will, as of this fate. Stone, ooh, stone, stone. The room vibrates with cheering and rumbles of applause. It really is like a miracle. I think I've actually turned this disaster around. Whoever smashed all the burning hammer, I don't know who you are, or where you are, but thank you. I realise now that I'm crying tears of joy. I've never felt satisfaction like I feel right now, seeing all these blissful customers purchasing one miracle stone after another. It feels like nothing could possibly go wrong. Honestly, I'm just grateful to God that I get to be here right now. So how's this gonna go bad? I have the utmost conviction that this is where my life truly begins. It's not long after that epic sales event that I'm hired on by Yamato Health Foods Company Limited. Soon after that, I'm on a plane bound for South America. I'm on a business trip to purchase our next product, Amazonian Miracle Mud. Tama prospers in her new life as an employee of Yamato Health Foods Company Limited. This is but one possible future for her, but hey, maybe it's even a pretty decent one. Still, wouldn't you like to see what happens if she sticks with Burning Hammer? They could like say that if Tama disappears from the scene, it ruins it for everyone else somehow. Like Tama is a necessary ingredient in this, but I don't know, maybe they just don't want to say it. But okay, so I have made one decision and I've had 3 bad endings. Like, for all I know, like, Kano gets killed because Tama wasn't there at some point. Who knows? What did you just realize? I'm scared to click on this link. Wait, it's... Hang on, I gotta look this guy up because I don't like, it doesn't say on there who we played. Oh, yes, I can see who we played. That's amusing. Alright, Wait, sorry, I should read that then. Um, so, the man who played Yanagishita was challenged to stay alone unclothed in an apartment for Susune Denpa Shonen, a Japanese reality show on Nippon television after winning a lottery for a show business related job. He was challenged to enter in male sweepstakes until he won 1 million yen. He started with nothing, including no clothes, and was cut off from the outside communication and broadcasting, and had nothing to keep him company except the magazines he combed through for sweepstakes entry forms. After spending 335 days to reach his target, he set a Guinness World Record for the longest time survived on competition winnings. Wait. That is fascinating. But wait, where did he get the initial money for food? Was he allowed to start with that? Anyway. The man with the cane crooked his finger on the trigger. Archie stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. Either way, I think we can say that his real life persona is better with money than Mr. Yanagishita. Archie stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to say shoot. Oh, sorry. If you want to no. Give me a moment. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too. I mean, it does say on there, it's because they used an eggplant to cover his nakedness. Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward. He pitched face first onto the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him. In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. Hitomi, Archie asked, you know that guy? Hitomi's eyes went wide. That's the man from the scramble. The one who told me to go to the van. Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us? I'm not sure. The newcomer fixed his eyes on Archie. Hey man, Archie approached the stranger. I'm not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist. Whoa! The man took a sudden swing with his pipe. Archie barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Archie made sure Hitomi was safely behind him. Guess I gotta let my fists do the talking. Archie quickly adopted a fighting stance. Be careful, Hitomi warned, her voice trembling. Don't worry, it's just a pipe. I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is. He can hear me strategizing. Archie judged the distance between them and carefully as he stared his opponent down. The metal pipe gave this thug considerable reach. One solid hit from that thing and Archie wouldn't stand a chance. He needed to end this in one punch. Like some sort of one-punch man. The crook sized him up for a few moments, then lunged forward to attack. Now! Archie sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered the vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. Archie gazed at his fallen foe, flexing his knuckles. The thing about guys who bring weapons to the fights is they always let themselves get too cocky. I thought this was Skrillex for a moment. He looked at the guy. He looked the guy over. The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. Come on, buddy, you can't just clock out yet. Archie said, Get up, I've still got a few questions for you. I think it says skill. Yeah. No, wait, skull, sorry. He knelt down to grab the man by his collar. Halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun from his breast pocket. Whoa, didn't know you were packing heat. Archie took a quick step backwards. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. Oh shit, is it assassination matter? He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment, but he didn't get the chance. The man with the cane had regained his consciousness, back on his feet. He trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. Oh no you don't! Archie darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. I'm not sure if that was the right move. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took up the metal pipe again. Rather than go for Archie, however, he charged the man with the cane. What the? Archie watched in astonishment as the two men grappled. What is going on? Now's our chance. Grabbing Hitomi by the hand, Archie broke into a run. They ran for a long time, finally stopping to rest at a quiet municipal park. As they sat catching their breath, Archie sensed a new tension in Hitomi. She hadn't said a word since their latest escape. She has to die, Archie. It's for your own good. In his mind, Archie replayed what the man with the cane had said. So Hitomi, Archie hesitated. About what happened back there? Yeah. She sounded like she'd been far gone in her own thoughts. You gotta believe me, I had no idea who that guy was. Never seen him before in my life. He must have been saying that stuff to confuse us, to trip us up. Yeah, Hitomi said again. Oh, yeah? Sorry. Is that what's been bothering you? Huh? Now it was Archie's turn to go monosyllabic. Well, Archie, you're kind of famous around Shibuya, right? I don't know about that. Way back when he'd been the leader of SOS. Nowadays, he was just some guy who picked up trash. There was nothing to brag about. When someone's famous, it's not unusual for someone else to recognize them and know their name. Oh shit. So yeah... Wait. So yeah, I was surprised back there, but no matter what the man may have said, I trust you. I mean, look how many times you put yourself in danger to protect me. Hitomi sounded pretty resolute. Archie was glad she believed him, but that raised another question. So then how come you've been so quiet? I've just been thinking about things. Like, what that man from the scramble might be after. It was true that his actions didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, he seemed more interested in taking out the man with the cane than going after you. Maybe there's bad blood between them. Archie let out a little chuckle. It's also very clear to me that Archie is not going to save the day for either Tama or Kano. Wait. If we're lucky, maybe they'll take each other out for us. He felt a rush of relief, reassured that Hitomi didn't doubt his motives. Regardless, though, we have to track down that blue van. The sound of a child's cry came from behind them. Turning to look, they saw the kidnapper rushing toward them. He had knocked over the little girl who was in his way. Oh shit! That's an image. That's not a dude. Oh wait, sorry, I thought you were still talking about him. I'm just saying, yeah. No rest for the weary, Archie sighed. Yet again, he and Hitomi sprinted away. Do you think he took out the guy with the cane? Shit. Hitomi's words came between panting huffs. Maybe. Archie glanced back at their pursuer. Whoa. There was someone else with him. Now they were being chased by two foreigners. It's a very, like, anthropic principle, though. Like, sure, it works out because it worked out. I like this better than we were just running from one guy with a cane. In a one-on-one fight, Archie was confident he could keep Hitomi safe. One-on-two, though, that was a different story. One guy might get a hold of her while he was facing off against the other. He had to make sure he lost these creeps no matter what. Is that the precursor to 428 then? If he hangs out with a stuffed animal? Also waiting, it's gaijin, so like you can't put bi and trans etc. Like it's just guys. That is the counterpoint part. Alright, I guess it is Osawa's turn. I don't deserve to be forgiven for what I've done. We may have both done the same thing, but my motives, those were different. And so I don't regret what I did. And yet, if someone were to ask if there was some small part of me that wanted to see the results of my research, I could not deny it. So, are you a Person United fan waiting? Or a Person City? Osawa grabbed his shoes from the entryway and then headed to the back door. He didn't want the detectives in his living room to know he was going to meet with Makino. Ah. That pest Kajiwara was nowhere in sight. Now was his chance to slip away. Gotcha. Oh shit, it's... Wait, speak of the devil, Kajiwara had snuck up behind him. Are you going out? The detective asked. No. I was just... Osawa felt something inside his shoe. Glancing down, he saw a rubber duck stuffed inside it. Is this your doing? I laid a booby trap. Or rather, a ducky trap. Okay, Sadako. Originally a type of lethal trap used during wartime to catch clumsy and unwary soldiers. In modern parlance, however, the term frequently signifies a harmless prank, such as setting a blackboard eraser atop a classroom door so it falls on the head of whoever opens the door. Okay, Sadako. Kajiwara beamed with self-satisfaction. You know, you act like a grade schooler, Osawa said. Like a yellow-haired grade schooler who has abusive step-parents. Indeed, sir. I am a grown man with a youthful heart. Leave it to Kajiwara to yet again miss the point entirely. With a sigh, Osawa tossed the duck at him. Kajiwara caught it nimbly in his hand and stuffed it right into his pocket. I won't tell you that you aren't allowed to leave, sir. All I ask is that you tell me where you've been and where you plan on going. My work is highly confidential. I'm not at liberty to discuss just anything about... Please try and work with me on this, sir, Kajiwara interrupted. He leaned in uncomfortably close. Do you recall what I said before? About how I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep secrets from me. I almost want to just put Byakuya voice on this. He deserves it, almost. Osawa hesitated, inwardly debating how much he should share. No, I think it's better to give him this one for now. He decided to tell the truth. Alright, I'll tell you. Just leave me in peace. One of my colleagues is waiting for me outside. Who is it? I'm sorry, that's all I can say. Could you tell me a bit about what you'll be discussing? Kajiwara leaned in even closer. His eyes twinkled with suspicion. I can't share corporate secrets, detective. Like how you don't tell me anything about the state of your investigation. It goes both ways. This is Ace looking into the final room. Uh, it might have been childish reasoning, but it worked on Kajiwara. Oh, all right, the detective said. In that case, I just have one condition. Please take this with you. He produced something that looked like a small transceiver from inside his coat. What's this? It's a bug tracker, sir. It'll beep in response to a nearby listening device. I wonder when that'll matter. I'm just going to meet someone from work. I bet he put the bug on his wife. I mean, it's both of them. It's just that particular one looked more like Ace. I don't need this. He pushed Kajiwara's hand aside and the bug tracker fell to the floor. Mr. Usawa, you mustn't underestimate the lengths to which these kidnappers might go. For once the detective's face was all seriousness. Alright, fine. Usawa snatched up the device and headed out the door. Makino's car was parked out in front. A driver stood alongside it. Usawa exchanged a wordless greeting with him, and then got in the back. He found Makino reclining in one of these luxurious leather seats. By the way, I meant to ask, because I can never remember, the detective that Kano looks up to, has he been in this story, or is he just in the past? I feel like I saw his name elsewhere, but I can't remember what his name is. Now then, Makino said, what did you want to ask me about? Lighting a cigar, he glanced sidelong at Osawa. I was hoping you could explain the situation to me, sir. Which situation would that be? So, he was still going to beat around the bush even now. Osawa suppressed an urge to shout at him. Are you the one who let the antiviral out of the lab, sir? So earlier on, Kano was talking about how this great detective, went into a burning building or something and inspired him to make the dictum and, take himself seriously as a detective. Does that guy mean in this time, in this day? Or is he just in the past? I just can't remember if I've seen him elsewhere. Yes, that was me. Makino didn't bat an eyelid. So why had he been so coy a few minutes earlier? But how? The fingerprint authentication system is almost unbreakable. Getting access to a storage area would... He trailed off as a thought suddenly occurred to him. It was not strictly true that fingerprint authentication was the only means of entry. Usawa and Tanaka had both set up passwords as a failsafe in case an injured fingertip somehow prevented them from operating the scanner properly. This is the Higurashi crying. They've got a sore stomach. But these passwords were 10-character alphanumeric strings. No one could just haphazardly fumble their way in. Could Makino have sent a request to the electronic locks manufacturer and then asked them to unlock it? So as soon as Osawa is going to get out of the car, Kajiwara is going to ask, who are you talking to or something, and he's going to say, oh, no one. Liar! No, sorry. Usora! Sorry, there we go. No, that required the approval of 6 board members. And Osawa was one of those 6 people. There really seemed to be no way of getting in them without leaving any trace. You're absolutely right, of course, Makino said with a grin, as if reading his thought. I couldn't gain access to the lab without you and Tanaka. But I didn't have to. He exhaled a large plume of smoke. You remember when we released the samples for animal testing? And so, that detective hasn't shown up then? I just thought I saw his name elsewhere. I just can't remember what it is now. there are a few similar names I just mix up, especially the shorter ones. No, it couldn't be. Usawa broke out into a sweat. Ah, but it could, Makino said. I had them divert some of the samples intended for animal testing. Naturally, I didn't leave any record of anything being taken from the lab. Osawa bit his lip hard. He couldn't help but feel betrayed by his company. But why? Makino let out a nasal, one-note chuckle. You don't seem to grasp just how valuable this thing really is. What do you mean by that, sir? Makino lowered his voice. There's a major world power out there that already has weaponized the UA virus. I'm just going to commit to this nasal thing. For a moment, Osawa thought this was some sick joke, but the look on Makino's face told him otherwise. I've been informed that it was recently used on a military installation in the Middle East. Within 12 hours of dispersal, there were at least 800 casualties. If you include civilians, the number jumps to over 2,000. Any evidence of the disease agent and the bomb that delivered it would have, of course, been covered up. Oh shit, he was still talking. Osawa listened in amazement, his outrage that any government would commit such an atrocity, not quite suppressing his excitement in discovering that the virus could be propagated by explosive means. He felt a flush of guilt at his own fascination. The antiviral you created, Osawa, has the potential to render this weapon useless. Right now, Okoshi Pharmaceuticals possesses the sole means to combat UA. Makino's lip curled again to a boastful grin. Any number of countries would love to get their hands on it. The major power in question has offered an unprecedented sum. Wait, no, this has gone from Higurashi to Kikonia. And that's hardly a surprise. Having a monopoly on the antiviral makes the weapon itself that much more valuable. To Osawa, this was a glimpse into another terrifying world, one he had barely imagined previously. And so you've wanted to get human tests... Wait, I can't even tell who's talking. Testing over as soon as possible, is that it? Makino shrugged. I explained full well to the locals what the risk of experimentation were, and they were paid in accordance with said risks. I've only briefly ever seen Death Note. I probably should watch it. They willingly consented to infection with the UA virus. Sophistry, Osawa huffed. Nothing more. You used money to deceive a bunch of poor farmers. Come on, Osawa. Who's being disingenuous now? Makino eyed him with contempt and let out another puff of smoke. I know you, Osawa, and I know you're not really concerned for a bunch of hick farmers. All you care about is your research. The thing that's really nagging you right now is that someone went ahead and did the final clinicals without you. Oh, spare me the ridicule, sir. Ridicule. As a virologist, I have a moral duty to... To what? Makino barked. Go to the media with this? Do you have any idea how much money the company has thrown at your lab to keep it up and running? Osawa's lab has incurred expenses of roughly 30 billion yen in developing the antiviral medication. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals spends approximately 200 billion yen per year on research and development. Osawa's work is the single most costly element of that budget. Osawa gaped. I do appreciate all the company has done for me, sir. He spoke so quietly that his voice was nearly inaudible. In any event, Makino said, now that you know about human testing, I can't let you go to America. How do you know about that? He insisted that I keep his planned relocation a secret, but apparently she told her father regardless. If you insist on making the move anyway, I'll use any means necessary to stop you. Makino regarded Osawa with a bloodshot gaze. So this guy is his father-in-law? I didn't even realise. Or maybe they mentioned it and I just forgot. Any means necessary? Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. Sir, you don't mean that my daughter's kidnapping was... Don't be ridiculous, Makino said before Osawa could finish. Of course that wasn't me. Nevertheless, I'll do what I must to keep you in line. Remember that. Understood, sir. I'll turn down the US job offer. Osawa heard his own voice like the thin drone of a tiny insect. He felt utterly powerless. I can't simply take your word on that, Makino said. Do it now. I want to hear you do it myself. He jutted his jaw toward the phone in the backseat console. Alright, Osawa said. He had no choice but to fall in line. It would be around 10 PM local time for the American firm. He decided to call his contact's personal phone. The headhunter was shocked to hear that Osawa wanted to decline the position. When he pressed for the reasons behind the decision, Osawa hung up. Visibly relieved, Makino lit up a fresh cigar. Sir, there's one thing I don't understand. And what's that? Basically, Makino is being very threatening to Osawa to not take a job in America. And he made him decline it. Osawa's head was feeling fuzzy. The smoke inside the vehicle had gotten extremely thick. But does he have air conditioning? Wait. If someone has this top secret information, why wouldn't they threaten the company as a whole? Why send those emails to me personally? I'm not sure. There's an internal investigation already underway. We'll find out the source of that leak soon enough. At this point though, Osawa wasn't sure knowing who originally leaked the info mattered much at all to him. If you'll beg my pardon then, sir, Osawa said. He put his hand on the door handle. A sudden high-pitched chirp sounded from his pocket. The bug tracker Kajiwara had given him had picked up a signal. My wife. Is that your cell? Makino asked. Oh, yes, that's mine. He hurriedly hopped out of the car and reached into his pocket. Is everything alright, sir? The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned towards Osawa, looking concerned. Was it you? Osawa stepped close to the driver. Did you send me those emails? What? What are you talking about, sir? Don't play dumb with me, Osawa said. You're the only person who could have planted a listening device in a company car. Listening device? The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after? Sir, what are you talking about? Who told you to do it? Tell me. The driver fled back into the car. Osawa clutched the bug tracker hard as he watched the vehicle pull away. Did he kidnap his wife, maybe? He went back to his house, still gripped by confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out. You were with my father, weren't you? She sneered at Osawa as he slipped off his shoes. Yes, I was, he replied. And it's over. What's over? She knows damn well what. He struggled to contain his irritation. America, I'm not going, he huffed. Oh, really? Well, that is good news. She sounded sincerely pleased. Maybe a little more pleased than Osawa cared for. I need to finish up some work things, he said, mumbled. He hurried to his study up on the second floor. Now where is that album? He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation, as usual. Just how long was this all going to go on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out? A specialized victim support team belonging to the Special Criminal Investigation Unit has been deployed at Osawa's house. The members of this team are all specialists who have received training in such skills as negotiation, high-speed motorcycle and automobile driving, running phone traces, special communications, and phone record acquisition. Osawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Wasn't there anything that he could do? He glanced over his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into his current situation. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed out all 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits. He scanned the beginning of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the site links caught his eyes. How the police do it. It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him that the police lost face if the culprit got away. If the hostage were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if the person's life was on the line, when it came to kidnapping case, the police prioritized making the arrests. Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back and thought. He wasn't going to be able to relax until he heard Maria's voice again. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance? He couldn't wrap his head around that. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped for after all. Unable to do anything for Maria but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US had passed him by. The research facility in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed over for the Aya Kamiki fan community for people 40 and over. I like that it's actually that, he wasn't like making it up. Whenever something was weighing on his mind, posting to these forums seemed to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. Started a new forum topic. In the title field, he wrote, Aya Kamiki expanding into the US. With Aya Kamiki... Everything is be alright. Still at the height of her popularity, does anyone else think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. I was half expecting to be like, hey, if Aya Kamiki was kidnapped, like, what would be the course of action that we would take? She should be recording in an American studio staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see her career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully he'd get a response from someone else soon. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. It sounds like the robot I made in high school. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who'd been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the bug tracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had bugged his study as well. Tracker in hand, he walked towards the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading over toward the window. Here, maybe? Next, he headed over to his desk. Here too? The bug tracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Have there been that many listening device planters in here? Mr. Osawa. It's Kajiwara! Oh, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective into the study. This is a first. The bug tracker's picking up signals. Oh? Yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That bug tracker is broken. What? Osawa was dumbfounded. Broken? But this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yes, but mine isn't detective anything. Kajiwara produced an identical bug tracker from his pocket. Maybe that's the one that's broken. And as he said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Ah, yes, that's right. Must have been when it broke, sir. Then what is it detecting? The strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't even have the mental energy to be angry anymore. He definitely is doing a condescending Byakuya right now, though. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand, and the beeping stopped. Right, he said. What can I do for you? Kajiwara clapped his hands together as if he'd just remembered something. Oh, right, we have a big problem. Oh, alright, we have a big problem. The toilet again? Osawa said. No, it's not that. It's something worse. Kajiwara's face turned grim. Kajiwara is like just borderline Byakuya at this point. Something worse. Had something happened to Maria? He needed to hear the detective out. What is it? Osawa asked. Go on, tell me. He did his best to remain composed. Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone and it looked like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them. There was an awkward pause, so I didn't have the foggiest of idea of how to respond. My deep apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife. Kajiwara bowed profusely. And I really do need to apologize. There were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. The meat was so tender, and the batter so crisp. Is it just being a running theme that like all the protagonists never get to eat food? With each and every bite, the rich flavour just filled my mouth more and more. So I felt blood vessel burst in his skull. Listen, you. Are they both wearing slippers? Get your goddamn act together or... He didn't get to finish that thought. A pathetic little gurgle sounded from his stomach. Ah, see, Kajiwara said. You are hungry. He fussed sheepishly with his hair. With the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. Shall I make something for you? The detective asked. This is all my thought. Oh, after all. That's fair enough. I think it's not the design, like the kind of slipper I imagined. Like they seem too fuzzy. You can cook? Osawa wasn't sure how thrilled he was with the idea of Kajiwara helping him. You mustn't judge people based on outward appearances, Mr. Osawa. Alright, fine, go right ahead then. His newfound hunger was making it hard for him to think. It would certainly behoove him to eat something. He led Kajiwara to the kitchen. Nice transition. What's with that get-up? Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir. The cartoon character printed on the apron Kajiwara is wearing is one of his own design. It is modelled after MPG's mascot. His name is Pimpokun. Alas, it isn't while I'm naked. Naked? Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of the naked apron? The state of being entirely naked save for an apron, a form of cosplay. The views from the front, rear and sides all offer a certain appeal, but caution must be advised as it may be difficult to stop arguing about which presents the loveliest sight once the topic is raised. There are some more sexualized naked styles as well, such as the naked sock, the naked shoe, the naked necktie, the naked ribbon, naked scarf, naked collar, and so on. I could demonstrate if you like. No, that's quite alright. Where'd you get that apron anyway? It's mine, sir. Have you had it with you this whole time? Yes, in here. With a smile, Kajiwara pointed to his pocket. Of course. Osawa eased himself into a chair. His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind. Oh, this is bad, the detective said. I need to whip up something for you fast. Something's definitely wrong if you don't have a comeback. So I felt his anxiety mounting. To be honest, like, I'm just the complete opposite and I just barely ever am not wearing shoes. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? Probably enough worth eating was his bet. For now, he just had to pray he wound up with something edible. Kajiwara appeared inside the refrigerator. goodness, you are remarkably understocked, he said. Let's see, could you please put one of these up in the dinger, Mr. Osawa? Name for the sound your microwave oven makes when it has finished heating your food. The microwave in my house doesn't really go ding when the time reaches 0 though. It's more of a beep, and it doesn't make sense to call a microwave a beeper when that's already a word that refers to something else. The detective handed Osawa some frozen lumps of rice. The dinger? What the heck's the dinger? The microwave oven, sir. Didn't you just read that tip? Osawa stepped in front of the microwave. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the controls. Wow. He's the rich family from Parasite. You should thaw that rice out as soon as possible, Kajiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing. What? The detective gasped. You don't know how to use a microwave? Osawa could only nod in silent shame. It should be as simple. Wait, it should be as simple as turning a dial. Wait, which one? That one, sir. The one on the right. Osawa turned the dial, then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin. Mr. Osawa, you need to put the rice in before you do that. Well, why didn't you say that? Osawa snapped. I've never worked in a kitchen in my life. Don't ask me to do things that are this difficult. Very well. I'll handle this from here. Why don't you get the bowls and the chopsticks then, sir? I have no idea where those are kept. Oh shit. Are we gonna get gel rice? Kajiwara let out a heavy sigh. Alright then. Please just sit and wait, sir, he said. Yeah, there are 2 dials. And here, take this. Kajiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket. Use your finger to pop the bubbles. That should help calm you down. Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, started to pop his way along the sheet. Rather than calm him down though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like some sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know? Kajiwara was cooking something in a frying pan. And, Osawa said, just what have you learned about mine? I better not say, sir. You might take offence. Osawa snapped another bubble between his fingers. Ah, the rice is finished thawing. Kajiwara topped the steaming bowl of rice with a fried egg he'd whipped up into the pan. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables. There you are, sir. Your fried egg on rice is complete. Then watch out, the rice is very hard, but it's very hot. One of Kajiwara's simple recipes. Others include his white spaghetti, which is simply spaghetti that's been flavoured with butter, salt and pepper after it's been boiled. Both are a bit too basic to be properly called cuisine, but it does take a certain skill to bring the best flavour out of ingredients with such simple seasonings. Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear. Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm. Osawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said. All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and pickled vegetables, sir. I assure you it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together. Wait a minute. Is Kajiwara working for you, Oya? Or like working in an extremely tenuous relationship? Reluctantly, Osawa brought a bite to his mouth. That's good. The words came out almost unbidden. Isn't it just? Egg yolk and pickled vegetables pair quite well. I want to have eggs now. It's too late though. Osawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious. I know you probably have a long ordeal still ahead of you, sir. It is when I'm streaming. But please, Keep your chin up and hang in there. Kajiwara gave Osawa an amiable smile. Ah, that's right, he continued. And for dessert, we have bananas. No, thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up his hand in refusal. Right then, when you finish eating, would you please wash the bowl? Me? Wash dishes? Osawa exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child. No, I don't know. I'd have to be like AFK for like a good 10 minutes. And I don't want to do that. And also then I'd have to be eating on stream as well. If someone else cooks for you, you should do the cleaning up. I mean, like, I have to, like, prepare other things, and, like, it's just the schematics of moving from room to room. Like, the time adds up. I don't spend 10 minutes cooking it, but I do spend 10 minutes, like, preparing it to be cooked, and then preparing things to be put away and such like that. Like, fine, okay. Well, Osawa was doing the dishes. The bug detector went off again. Director, if you have a moment... Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. To be honest though, I like my eggs boiled, so like I have to boil the water as well. Not that I have to be AFK for that entire time, but I do need to prepare that. Not to mention I have to microwave it afterwards because that brings out the best flavour. Obviously. No, that was a joke. How far are they? Oh, Kano's is actually further than I thought. And Osawa's is very far. But now it's Minarikawa's turn. Hopefully we get to see Chiaki, otherwise the stream title has been a waste. To be fair, I am very lousy at cooking. Right. Left! Minorikawa sprinted down Center Guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Out of my way! Can't you people see I'm in a hurry? He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. He's about to cause a traffic jam. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be going underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP to get a feel for things before they started. Best time to scope out an event was just before it started and just after it ended. There was something he learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. He'd been a combative education. Minorikawa learned despite himself as two men constantly butted heads. Oh, give him a break. What's wrong with that article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department. Shh. Wait, shut up. I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it. Toyama sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper and Toyama was his boss. At the time, Toyama was the copy editor for local news known as the Red Pen Gatekeeper. He would go around checking young reporters' copy like mad. Due to his vigorous efforts, a great many articles never made it to the page. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong. All of it. How could it be all of it? Co-workers stared, keeping their distance as the pair screamed themselves red in the face. These arguments became a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned should not try to intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over again and it'd still be the same thing, a load of self-important claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a more neutral piece. Taking neither of these two opposing sides, the media typically seek to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news. Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking taking hold amongst the general public. In the end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news event. Too real. Look, it's not like he's trying to get into Area 51, he doesn't have to Naruto run. He's just in a hurry. Come down. You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. Then it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring when writing? Yeah, I did. But I don't remember telling you to write any garbage. By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. Now a dying breed in Japan, the sort who had been inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's behaviour. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle. Their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with the exclamation, "You fool! You're no son of mine, I disown you!" Only to wait a while, to go find the son, who's crying down by the dry riverbed, calmly murmur, "Come on, your supper's getting cold." But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. Oh, here we go. He wound up barreling right into someone who was walking to a knick-knack shop. A newly opened general variety store. The place is primarily a second-hand shop with posters inside proclaiming, "We'll take what you don't need and we buy computers at top prices." It was a girl, about high school age. She jumped to her feet, then snatched Minorikawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where you're going!" she snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. I mean, I believe this is the wrong choice. It must be. Take this! He drove a punch right into the girl's flank. To his amazement, the girl shrugged off the blow as if it were nothing, her grip on his collar tightening further. This was going to be the right choice, I think, now. Oh, you want to throw down, huh? She sneered. Shifting position suddenly, she snatched Minorikawa by the hair and dragged him into the road. Okay, maybe this is the wrong choice. Before he could process the trouble he was in, it was already too late. He cowered away from her, shielding his face with his arms, only to feel the impact of the rain of punches and kicks on his exposed back and sides. Pain shot through his body as each blow landed with a perversely satisfying thump. I miss Flipperamas from Captain Underpants books. And then the pain continued to intensify. Oh crap! I'm going to die here, aren't I? Never thought my life would end so soon. So now he's the insect? Wait, no, never mind. I've misread that. Huh. His assailant paused suddenly. Wait, don't I know you? She stared down in his face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa! Shocked to learn his own name, Minorikawa peered up at the girl. Miku? Yeah. Wow, so you do remember me. Stop, he's already dead. Her tone was bubbly, as if the beating she'd been dishing was all fun and games. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you. She held out her hand to help Minorikawa back to his feet. Wow, how long's it been, she asked. About 5 years, I think, he said cautiously. You were still doing your bonsai stuff? Nah, I gave that up. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. Is this the Japanese version of a shrubbery? One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, he said. But then as soon as you get a shrubbery, then she just wants you to chop down the tallest tree in the forest with a herring. I want to be able to beat those guys up. And so, Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. Man, you sure I've gotten strong? Minorikawa said. Well, that's the sort of girl I am. Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. Present the flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled all in the wrong directions by the prospects. You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the current champion there. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Well, he had seen firsthand how strong she was. Miku nodded. What are you up to now? She asked. Working? Yeah, running around trying to get issues. Right now I'm getting the... What was it again? The Nakane building, that's it. Oh, I can take you there, she said. I can use the exercise. Now if you'll beg my pardon... Miku casually hefted Minorikawa up onto her back and broke into a jog. Before long they arrived at the Nakane building. Minorikawa thanked Miku as she set him down on the sidewalk, and the two parted ways. So, if she's the person who got the burning hammer, how's Tama gonna go with this? At long last, he arrived at the Nakane building where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about burning hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen on magazines, 100% weight loss guaranteed. I don't think this is blatantly false advertising. I don't think you want to lose 100% of your weight. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute, because graphic design is their passion. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favour of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the third floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales area. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. It's good also that they walked away before the big explosion that happened just where they were. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, and nobody's on it. Is he going to be the Okabe of this thing? He's just going to yell at them? It appeared that the event had yet to start. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. El Sai Kano. Could something like that really exist though? Ah well, Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Ladies, tell me sorry I kept you waiting. At the presenter's cue, a cat mascot appeared and took to the stage. The audience broke into applause. After waiting patiently for the applause to die down, the cat produced a small box from which she... Oh shit, am I still on the wrong timeline? Produced a pendant with a blue stone. It certainly wasn't a diet drink, whatever it was. Norikawa wasn't the only one who quickly realised this wasn't a burning hammer sample. After staring for a moment, the rest of the crowd began to fly into an uproar. Quiet! The cat shouted. Wait a minute, so if I wanted the bat... No, the reason it didn't blow up is because Tama wasn't actually at the shop on this timeline. Taken aback, the crowd quieted down. The cat held up the pendant up high so that everyone could get a look at it. Do not take your eyes off this pendant. If you do, you will die. A jolt of panic shot through the room. I was hoping Minorikawa would be in that scene. But this will be another bad ending, surely. Slowly, the cat began to swing the pendant back and forth. Minorikawa couldn't quite recall what happened after that. When he came to his senses, he'd already pulled a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Handing it to the man he assumed was the demo organizer. In exchange, he received a pendant, the same as the one the cat had been holding. "I've done it!" Minorikawa muttered to himself excitedly. Clutching the pendant in his hand, he could feel the energy it radiated coursing through his body. But the power of Grayskull! The cat's monotone chanting from the stage sounded in his ears like a chorus of angels. Overwhelmed by a feeling of ecstasy he could scarcely contain, Minorikawa repeated words to himself. "I've done it! With this I'll be the greatest writer the world has ever seen. My uncles will stir the emotions of the entire human race. They'll laugh, they'll cry, they'll tremble with fear. They'll jump for joy." No longer was the Pulitzer Prize a mere dream, it was practically already his. A prize awarded for excellence in journalism, literature, and music composition. Named for American journalist Joseph Pulitzer, active during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and administered by Columbia University, to whom he willed all his money in order to establish a journalism school. 3 Japanese photographers has been awarded the prize in the past: Yasushi Nagao, Keiichi Sawada, and Toshio Sakai. I mean, Minorikawa only has one mode. He needed to tell someone how excited he was. This miracle he'd attained, he was going to just squander it on himself. Oh no, a journalist of his stature needed to share what he knew with all humanity. He opened his laptop. He built up his word processing program. He deleted all the articles working on. He knew what he really needed to write. Special edition report on the Miracle Stone, only in 4-star General Gossip spring issue. Must-have stone already in many fashion uses collected. Look out, world! Mysterious gemstone power set to change international balance of power. Let's find the Miracle Stone. Get your hot silk tips here. The pages originally slated for the pros and cons of security camera and washed-up screenwriters were instead filled with glowing praise and rave reviews for the Miracle Stone. Never had Minorikawa been more proud of his work. Back at 4-star General Gossip headquarters, Minorikawa handed his articles to Toyama, who was sitting glumly at his desk. Toyama looked them over slowly, and there was a lingering silence. Finally he spoke, his voice subdued, but his words crystal clear. "Yeah, this is all getting axed." I'm surprised he's not just to a point of he'll take what he can get. Oh no, the thing I can't recognize. Desperate though, he was for copy. Toyama still rejected Minorikawa's articles, probably a good indication of how bad they really were. Maybe the Miracle Stone wasn't the breaking story Minorikawa wanted it to be. Tama no Pals really needed to be selling Burner and Hammer instead. Wait, so is Tama's open now? It's not, so I'm going to change it so Tama is doing that. I think I do it here, yeah. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's the bad end here, so I'll change it first. And see if it still has a bad end for Tama, because I'm curious if I picked the right option for Minorikawa. I like the idea that there are like 4 different combinations and 3 of them are bad endings or something. Okay, so now they've chosen this, it still gets a bad ending. But I feel like it's even worse for Minorikawa at this point. Like, so what happens now? Wait. Because now, like, it must be different. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Could something like that really exist, though? Oh well, Minorikawa was just gonna have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward, expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick and then another. Ta-da! A coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Minorikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Chiri's great. Scanning the room, he spotted the man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him. Hey, you're the one wondering this thing? Well, yes. When's the extra sales demo gonna start? Soon, very soon, yeah. In how many minutes? You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon, real soon. This is getting him nowhere. I'm surprised no one's talking about the big explosion that happened downtown. 3 minutes, Minorikawa declared. He held 3 minute fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes, if it doesn't start then... If it doesn't start then what? Bring the mother flippin' ruckus. I'm gonna start a ruckus. He kept his voice firm, his words short and clipped. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a little silly magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, I'm in a cast to pass already. 1 minute. Whoa. Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. Oh, well, you know, no reason really. The man was getting seriously frosted. Oh yeah, he's Okame. I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, right. What happened is the required merchandise. What happened to the merchandise? Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Oh, well, it's just a... Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. How is this a progressing story? Tama is literally like caused a freaking terrorist attack. But what else happens then? I'm gonna be heartbroken. He kept his expression blank as an empty slate. Hey now, you're an all-star. No need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Wait. Okay, it's the same. I'm just gonna go home. He kept his tone clipped and cool. Hey now. Don't dream it's over. No need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? Okay, that didn't matter. Okay, but that is fascinating. So he can't do anything still, and I have no idea who's gonna... Wait a minute. Maybe if Minorikawa does the other thing, that can help save Kano somehow, which is weird to me. What was the option here? I'll leave that for now. So, let's not get in a fight. Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now, but the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going. Minorikawa could barely crack out his apology. Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once, the girl just said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. Wait, hold on, she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa. Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look. Miku? Yeah. Ah, so you do remember me. She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. Wow, how long has it been, she asked. About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff? Nah, she replied. I gave that up. Enjoy your, microwaved eggs and rice waiting. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion since back when she was in middle school. The mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists, but recently art is attracting more young people. As are other aspects of Japanese-style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners, as are fruit-bearing trees such as the plum-leaf apple. There are even spherical bowls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like they're cute miniature plants with plants growing over the surface. Okay, Haru. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, she had said. Strong enough to beat those guys up. And so Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. Well, you've sure gotten strong, alright, Minorikawa said. That's the sort of gal I am. Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There is an octagonal ring inside the pub, and the rules state anything goes between the young women who fight inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. It's not MMA though, we can't say that. Oh wait, it literally is MMA, mixed martial arts. It's not UFC though, we can't say that. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. You should come see one of my matches sometime. Also, it has to be said, she is wearing a Sans hoodie. I'm the reigning champion. Beaming with pride. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Yikes. Good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by soon. Right now I'm sort of in a hurry though. Oh sure, Miku said. Catch you later then. She headed into the shop as Minorikawa rushed off toward the sales demo. Maybe Tama has to save Kano. This is just a long chain. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines, 100% weight loss guaranteed. The message was kind of... Okay, this one's... Now it's the same. So now... we return to Tama. There's a lot of back and forth going, it seems. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of this? No one in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, I'm afraid. All of it. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn the extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Could you get me in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... actually, would you wait maybe for a moment? She said she'd buy ASAP. So I'm very curious about what she's doing with this. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she said. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but... would you be willing to let me have those diet drinks, meow? I bow extra deep and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many though. I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh wow, the sales jerk ejects. I just said sales jerk. What sort of work do you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. I fight at the place called Bride. You might not have heard of it. No, you might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on. What are we talking about now? What's Bride? I seriously never heard of the place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap. The sales clerk explained. Oh, wait, it was him talking. But Sans is an anime. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members and is not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights really are something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. So then, you must be pretty strong, he says to the girl. Well, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I asked. A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea what you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Meow. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I'll accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. It's just a very peculiar image. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. Okay, but when they end, they get to like punch a car down, and then like, you know, get points, and then that causes the traffic jam that keeps Kano safe, saved by Street Fighter. I've got to win this somehow or another. I have got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I mean... I've seen something to do with rock, paper, scissors in this. I think it was like one of the trading cards. Let's have a fight. Let's have ourselves a straight up fight. The girl grins nice and wide, like she'd been waiting to hear me say that. Okay, you're on. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. I mean, I've got to do that next. Yeah. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down. When is the 428 soundtrack going to be on OC though? So, if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it, and you have to pay for it. What? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Meow. Ready when you are. Miku does a little brisk shadowboxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. A training technique for boxers involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Oh, maybe this is the crowd disruption or something? I don't know. Whoa, what's the deal? There's something going on. It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, Achi Endo and... Alright. That's noted. So maybe this is the right... I'm very confused at what the option is correct. Asawa Ozu and his underlings, Yutaro Segawa, members of the Tenryu Gumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryu Gumi operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing, and these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. They've already collected from one client today. Next they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find the next target. I mean, I've seen it for myself. The sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here though. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. A left jab. She's quick. We can see why she's the champion. Hiya! She immediately follows with a jab with a wide right hook. The type of punch involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into takedown and pin. Good old Delanor. I haven't gotten up to reading her part in the manga. I'm also very excited to see Erica in the manga. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Whoa! She slips off balance as pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd has started clamouring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. I was hoping Archie would be in the photos. Clearly, like, I need to get a webcam and I need to stream book 2 of the Umineko. She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Rah! This time I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring my right hand up and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha, she calls out. It was a feint. There's a visceral whump as the second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it. Hey-ya! She proceeds to unlock a string of additional kicks with her left leg. The bend in her leg feels wrong, I don't know why. It's not as bad as Ava's kicks in the Umineko manga though. Eventually I capture hold of her foot. Holding her off balance, I begin to walk her backwards, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Wow! A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air. Whoa! Ah! Ooh! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Phew, you're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, meow, I am a cat. Meow. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Today is the day I retire. Ah, phew. Good match there. Miku clasped my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. I really am seeing that it's like, whatever you think is the dumb option is actually not the dumb option. Maybe you should keep that in mind, keep picking what seems not to be the dumb one. I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how much does this stuff come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about the payment. You've more than earned that with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I am shocked at what had just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, there was some Jujutsu, right? Is that like Aikido Jujutsu? A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counteract. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw their opponents with a simple touch. The art predates some development of the more pacifistic Aikido and some of the most dangerous techniques still remained. What if we are the ultimate Aikido Jujutsu student? Huh? Oh, I guess I tilt my head non-committedly. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see them. Knick-knack shop owner Taisei Yoshida watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. He is particularly fond of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid and has thus far only waffled non-committally outside the entrance to the place. World building. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today, he asks? Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. If only, Satoshi knew he could do this. I did it! I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just to go get back to the sales zone. Wait, the katakana. It says Horcrux? Wait, Hokuresu. Hokuresu. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to read that. Hokuresu. Oh shit, you're right. Necklace-u. I don't know why I thought that was ho. I guess they're kind of similar, but not really. That was just me being dumb. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Hey, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. That's... I should have recognized the difference though. I just wasn't thinking. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now the sales demo will be well underway. By the way, I've totally forgotten how to learn my way of remembering the difference between shi and su. Like, I remember what it was, but I've forgotten which letter it's for, and so it's wasted again. If there's nothing to buy, customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. I think I can maybe tell the difference between n and so, because like I'm more used to seeing n than I am so, but and you think I should be able to know because you see small tsu so often, but nah, it's not sticking to me. Probably because it's too small. Come on, Tomo, you can do it. Just gotta hurry. I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting. You're late! What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yanagishi practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Who is that guy? wait, let me guess. You have written shitsu n no, shitsu so n. How do they go? He doesn't look like a customer. Wait, did I do it? Is it shitsu so n? Okay, so yeah, the suit is the one that looks like more like a smiley face, and so is the one that goes higher. Yeah, I can maybe I'll remember it. I don't know. I probably won't. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I followed Mr. Yanagishi into the break room. Yeah, that's what I remembered. I just couldn't remember if it was shi or tsu that was shrug. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look, I got the product back. I proudly opened up one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's burning hammer. It really is. Yanagishi clutches the box closed with his nuzzling of his cheek. Did he ever learn about like the fact that there was a bunch of broken burning hammer outside? How's the demo going, I ask. I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. I sneak a peek through the door and I see Chiri guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us some time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Tama also does not know that Chiri just had several full course meals like 30 minutes ago. Chiri comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. I think I should have stuck to doing invitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Chiri. Mr. Yanagishita says, just fantastic! Thanks to you. We had just enough time to get the burning hammer back. He bows profusely. Alright, now it's time for the main event. Who the hell is that? Cheery, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye aye, boss. And Tama, just go up there, smile all big and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. Good, now then. Wait. Yanagishita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who's been waiting quietly behind. Wait. Of course. Beg your pardon, miss. It's a service rep from the rental shop, who proceeds to try and get me out of my mascot suit. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of the Far East Movement Rentals, the only son of a company president Shigemichi Fukuma, who is one of the few people who know what Shigemichi looks like. As his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume, Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike of both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at the school on Parents' Day one year dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nevertheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he will inherit the family business. You've so I think while you were gone waiting, we just got into a fist fight with an MMA champion and won. Just normal things. And Cherry has just had another extensive meal, as she does. Oh, that's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Yanagishita asks nervously. Oh yeah, this is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper? It's all jammed up. It's gonna take a long time for me to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Yanagishita clutches the side of his head. The rental guy tries tugging in the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. Look at that face of disgust. Hey, Effie. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Yanagishita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything. Blah! Mr. Yanagishita fuming. Just my luck. Finally found a cute model and the crowd's never gonna see her. Hey boss, Chiri says. The customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do? We go out and do more impressions? Chiriko's repertoire of impressions. 1. A sea lion yawning. 2. A harbour sail hailing a cab. 3. A walrus reading sutras. 4. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on her back. 5. A stellar sea lion taking a nap. There's a certain theme going on here. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure, I ask? If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get there and get started. I'm counting on you two. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Oh, Minorikawa's in the back. I can see him. Chiri and I spring into action on stage. But now, I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. The latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Sorry. I just need to drink water. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. It's magic! Cherry begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Cherry will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how burning hammer works. It activates the capsaicin it found in chili peppers. The primary spice component in chili peppers said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Since it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it is also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray and personal defense. I said shedding weight. I paused to take a deep breath before continuing. And, rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent terms to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity is, in the clinical sense, as a medical condition involving interrelated health issues, including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hypoglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at a higher risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now, this young lady here will demonstrate burning hammer's effect before your very eyes. Cherry steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned off right there on the spot. Cherry holds a bottle of burning hammer up high. Cheers, she says. As she opens the bottle, however, a woman in the front row speaks up. Hold on, she's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Cherry's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious. Oh, that juice drinking from earlier. Was that all to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking burning hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rush to towel off Cherry's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up, drink it down. Cherry's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Oh, why isn't it working, I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Cherry replies unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking it forever the 100 yen shop! The crowd shifts from uproar into riot. Did she just say a 100 yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation's gotten out of our control. Look, this product is so valuable that a 100 yen shop is about the only way we can get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. Customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Let's apologise. Please, let me apologise. Asking for forgiveness seems to be my only option. But the crowd is still up in arms, clamouring for blood. Tama! Yanagishi shouts, running from the break room. What the heck did you say? Guess he can't just sit idly by and watch any longer. Abort, he howls. If you let people know the truth about this stuff, they'll never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Cherry doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, her stare ferocious. Oh, whoops. Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Yanagishi is aghast. Wait, now there really is no saving this. The customers descend on Mr. Yanagishi, their wrath a terror to behold. So then it is true. What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you try to sell this crap for these prices. Aye! Ooh, oh. The throngs go for the attack. Help! I wish I wasn't wearing clothes right now. Chiri and I force our way through some angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless open-handed slaps. I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. Is this the good ending path? It's been so long that it feels like it must be. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Yanagishi wails to the empty room. So, boss, about getting paid. Even Shiri seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Yanagishi doesn't so much as look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind, then, Shiri says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Miss Yanagishi says lifelessly. Wait, is there a French flag? I don't see it. Or was it before? Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Shuri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir, it's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals. Alright, how much was it again? Mr. Yanagishi rummages his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the catsuit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. Was that 200,000 yen? No, sir. Was that 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear it all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Yanagishi takes all the cash he has in his wallet and hands it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that, but I don't got any more than this. Don't got no more, sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe. You know I can't do that, sir. Oh wait, I see Australia. But Mr. Yanagishi refuses to back down. That's right, insurance. I got insurance in the event this suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did. Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Yanagishi calmly claps a hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is inside my heart. I mean, I will assume it's Australia because no way would New Zealand be prominent enough to show up there. But New Zealand's stars are red. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna leave this to my boss. Shigemuchi Fukuma, president and owner of the Far East Movement Rentals. Notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume, Shigemichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he would probably never forgive Yanagishi, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. But to be fair, no one could recognize the Singapore flag even if it was there. Turning his back on the ruins of the sale demo, he slumps his way out of the room. We have proof from Scribbler. Yeah, that's definitely Australia's flag. There's also America. I think that's Mexico, or is it Italy? I can't remember. China, the Great Britain, Germany. Maybe that one's it. Yeah, that's the same one again. And they're just looping. There's also Switzerland and Spain, even though that Spain is missing its icon. Or logo, or whatever you want to call it. It also kind of looks like Poland over there, but it might be France. Or another Italy. There's also Greece, and I think the yellow, blue, red. That's like Colombia, or is it... There's also Norway, or is it Iceland? I forget. Damn. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess. There's also Brazil. You wouldn't know what it's like to feel so hopeless behind blue eyes. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I could possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Oh, sorry. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you're dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intend. Mr. Yanagishi whips his head back and forth. Yaks, where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging from the surface. I have amnesia. Dun dun dun. It's freaking all my circuits. Yanagishi's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas an endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head, causes physical trauma to the brain. In the latter case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the criminal's nerves recover. What did Monokuma do? My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagishi looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where'd you get the name Tama then? I thought of it when I saw the tamagoyaki in the lunchboxes. Aha! Tamagoyaki! Tama! I get it! He claps himself in the thighs as if he'd had some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember, and the game is not going to tell me. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. A storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange dim place, having just fought off a mighty cockroach. Yeah, I just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. Huh? Really? So it is pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are. He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is, but I'm not going to do me any good to just fret over it. Besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop, the same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow I know that it's important to me. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it? I nod. Of course. Now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my total shot at getting it. Okay then. Mr. Yanagishi removes a shoe and he yanks the inside. Oh, this really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen and puts on the other 20,000 from his wallet and thrusts it all toward me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I pluck up 2 of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. Wait, sorry. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But, wait, but how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Damn it. Like, after all this. Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. And also, I know a way to win 1.5 million yen. It just takes 15 months. They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow, I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist beneath, Yanagishi gets a far-off look in his eye. And then one more time, I'm gonna celebrate. Ooh yeah, alright. It's time for dancing. I'm gonna go see a bride fight. My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Wait, bride? Like the martial arts pub? Wait, you know that bride? Man, I've spent so much money at that place. Wow, it really is a small world. Especially that Miku. Hehehe. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miku, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. I can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why didn't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. As if you have a choice. Out in the hallway, I passed by the man I'd noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize. Odd. The sales demo is over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the catsuit from the man in the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I think it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off of me. I mean, this obviously isn't gonna work. It's time I skin this cat. The exact origin of the phrase, "there's more than one way to skin a cat," is uncertain, and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the latter portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upwards as hard as I can. Oh-ho! Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe. Run! It comes off. I did it. I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. Oh no, but now they're gonna recognize her. Maybe. Alright, so I'm very curious about the other options in this fight. Because I want to play some Osu, obviously. Oh wait, no, it says rhyming game, not rhythm game. I've been had. Let's play a rhyming game. Huh? The girl says. She seems a bit put out by the suggestion. Put off. Yeah, I say, and if I win, you have to have me all. Let me have all these. A rhyming game? Really? Okay then. Really? Silly. Okay then. Listen. Listen. I'm a martial artist. Artist? Ooh, this is a tough one. Smartest! Glow. No, what I'm saying is, I'm a fight. How long's this gonna go on for? Okay, fighter shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. Just have to panic. Let's see. Rider! Aha! Okay. Scissors! What do you mean, scissors? No! Wait, what the heck is going on? Crap, nothing wrong with scissors. That's an illegal move. Wait, but... Oh. I drop into a fighting stance. Okay then, shall we fight? Is this just gonna be what happens every time? The girl grins back at me. Now you're talking. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Free will is pointless, is the lesson. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors? The girl goes slack-jawed in surprise. Yeah, and if I win, you have to let me have those diet drinks. Rock, paper, scissors? Sure, whatever. Okay, I accept. Here we go. I ready my fist. 1, 2, 3, shoot! I've lost. We're doing best out of 3, right? What? 1, 2, 3, shoot! I lose again. And even if I even tried to change it up by throwing paper twice in a row. That's literally not changing up, but yeah. So yeah, we're doing first to 3, right? Huh? Yet again, I lose. My reverse psychology is backfired. Okay, now that we've done warming up, wanna do this for real? Sure. Shoot! 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 Super despair. This goes on for a good 30 minutes. We've thrown more times than I can even count, and I haven't won once. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. Even reverse psychology. She sees through me every time. I'm terrible at this. Beyond terrible. How can someone be this bad at rock, paper, scissors? I want to keep going until I win at least once, but the girl's clearly pretty fed up. This sucks. But I've reached my limit. Time's up. Right around now, there's someone else who's been told that his time is up. And he's quite in predicament. Yes, it's Junichi Yanagishi. The ruthless ultimatum was issued by none other than Minoru Minorikawa. Ah, so this is the other timeline. Well, thanks for humouring me for so long. Guess those drinks really are all yours. I shuffle off, my shoulders slumped in dismay. On shaky legs, I make my way back to the Nokame building. I'm half tempted to just abandon the whole burning hammer disaster, but I know I'd feel guilty afterwards. Besides, after all the effort that I put into this, I'd at least like to get paid something. I'm back. Meow. I call out casually as I open the door. When I see what's inside, I feel like I've been smacked in the head with a mallet. The demo room is completely totaled. Torn flies are scattered all over, and most of the chairs have been knocked back over. Someone obviously trashed the place. Who the heck did this? I had thought I was alone, then I spot someone lying in the corner. I saw someone lying in the spotlight, losing their religion. It's some guy I don't recognise. The man groans pitifully. What's going on, I ask. What happened here? I go over to the guy and shake him gently on one shoulder. Has death come with you at last? His voice is a mere murmur. If you're here to finish me off, then you're welcome to try. But only if you beat me in a challenge, fair and square. Huh? I'm not sure what he's on about, but my competitive streak is too strong to let me ignore what I just heard. A challenge, you say? That's right, I challenge you. Rock, paper, scissors! Rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors? Again? If you beat me, then I'm yours to do as you please. All the vexation I felt earlier when I lost to the girl in the knick-knack shop stirs up me again. I feel like a kettle boiling over. At this point, I don't even care who my opponent is. I need to slay the nagging disappointment in me. Alright then. I accept your challenge. I hold out my fists. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shoot! I throw paper, and the man throws scissors. I've lost. I guess I really am just no good at rock, paper, scissors. Or maybe I should say I'm really good at losing at it. I thought my earlier loss must have been some weird fluke, but apparently it wasn't, after all. Yeah, Minorikawa was clearly doing resonance. Rochambeaued. Thanks to epic rock paper scissors losing streak, Tumble wasn't able to get any Burning Hammer. Maybe that was to be expected, seeing as she only ever throws paper. She'd probably do better with some other form of challenge. Gosh, imagine how much of a disappointment the prince's son would be. Alright. I'm trying to think this through in my head, so... If, what I want to do is make Tama not get there, and therefore... So I distract her. Oh wait, shit. That doesn't work. I haven't thought this through. Wait a minute. Are you making a Maria Ozawa joke again? I feel like I'm being dumb, but I'll say. Oh, I can do it, okay. Also, I still haven't saved Kano, I think. Unless I haven't, I just don't realise. I'm checking. Nope, still haven't saved him. Okay. Time's up! Minorikawa had had enough. Wait, so let me just remind myself. So this is the timeline. Wait. Oh yeah, so Tama still hasn't showed up anyway, so he's acting out the same way anyway. You gather up customers for a product that doesn't even exist, and then try to sell them something else. It's a classic con. You've got it all wrong. I am selling Bonoheimer, I swear. There. I bet you're even planning as using that, trying to hustle the prompt for those little magic tricks. What? No, I'm not. You gotta believe me. Oh yeah, Minorikawa says. Then where is this Monohammer of yours? Go and tell me. He grabbed Yanagishi by the collar. Hey now. Hey now. Easy there, sir. Tell me. Please just let me go. I said tell me. I'm a pacifist, Yanagishi cried. You're a what now? Minorikawa said. A pacifist. I demand 3 million yen reparations. Yanagishi shook free of Minorikawa's grasp, then shoved a hand in his face for a change. But it's so easy to do, I love doing it. Reparations? Minorikawa faltered, baffled by this unexpected counterattack. Yeah, pay up, Yanagishi demanded. 3 million yen reparations. He seemed to have forgotten his customers entirely in his fury. Don't be absurd. Wait, sorry. Don't be absurd. No one know you're a journalist muckraker. Only a journalist would stoop so low. Hey everyone, look here. This man just assaulted me. Huh? Wait, hold on. I was just... Right here, folks. If everyone can bear witness to the true face of the media, it's people like this guy who go around besmirching fine, upstanding citizens with trumped up hogwash. Hey, wait just a minute here. You're the one who's starting to sell a product that doesn't even exist. Yanagishi broke into a sudden fit of wailing. Minorikawa turned to look back at the approaching crowd. Its members glared at them with accusation. Ladies, Yanagishi begs, his voice interspersed with sobs. I am so sorry. I had this amazing diet aid that was planned to offer you at all a reasonable price, but it turns out I won't be able to sell it after all. This man is going to write a piece about how my product is bogus. My company's reputation is going to take a huge hit, and because of that, I won't even have a product to sell you, and it's all going to be his fault. As he choked his words, Yanagishi dropped to his knees in defeat. That's when the riot started. This has been a silly hour. Minorikawa wasn't exactly sure when he blacked out. When he came to, he was sprawled out on the floor. Craning his neck to look around, he saw no sign of Yanagishi or his customers, only tattered flyers and busted chairs strewn about the room. There was a ringing in his ears, the back of his head throbbed painfully, his arms felt a little too heavy to lift. It was like his entire body had been transformed into a lump of cement. Finally, he remembered. After Yanagishi's little act, the crowd had descended on Minorikawa from all sides in a frenzied free-for-all. Against an angry mob of that size, he hadn't stood a chance. They had worked on him until he was black and blue. In the midst of the fracas, while the customers were distracted, he caught sight of Jankenjutsu sneaking out of the room. Clearly, the man was no stranger to worming his way out of sticky predicaments. Now, as he tried to piece together what had just happened next, a mysterious figure loomed into his blurry vision. It sported pointed ears atop its enormous head, along with a big, broad mouth. Whatever it wasn't human. Has death come for me at last? No, has death come for me at last then? A smile of delight crossed Death's face. No doubt he had indeed come to eject Minorikawa from this mortal coil. If you hadn't finished me off, then you will come to try, Minorikawa growled. But only if you beat me at a challenge, fair and square. Minorikawa had never been one to give up easily. Even now he refused to go down without a fight. A challenge, you say? Asked Death. Still, the bright grin of his face remained. That's right, I challenge you. That was all well and good, but Minorikawa's strength was gone. At best, he was only able to move one hand. Rock, paper, scissors, Minorikawa said. In his current state, that was all he was capable of. Nonetheless, it counted as a challenge. If you beat me, he went on, then I am yours to do with whatever you please. For a while, Death was silent, then nodded deeply. Alright then, I accept your challenge. Meow. And so, Minorikawa and Death held out their hands. Minorikawa tried to throw rock, but with several of his fingers broken, he couldn't quite curl them into a proper fit. Death, on the other hand, threw paper. I've lost. All at once, Minorikawa's last remaining energy drained from his body. I don't know why this is so funny to me. A simple complaint about the demo's delayed start turned into an argument with Jankenjutsu, and ultimately into an all-out melee. If only there'd been some burning hammer around, this might not have happened. This might be something Tama can do about this. The smart money's on her. Alright. Now let's get the proper ending, I think. Or rather just keep it going with Minorikawa's story. Okay, what was this jump? Oh yeah, that was Archie. We do this jump, I'm by that icon, I feel like I can't. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting. You're late! What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Jankenjutsu practically throws himself at me, the weight must have been killing him. Same behind him is a band I don't recognise. Oh shit. No worries, good night. I'm not sure I'll be streaming for too much longer. Or is it this point that I jumped to him? Or I still can't? Hang on. Wait, Minorikawa's timeline is broken, isn't it? Oh no, that's right. He doesn't need to be jumped to because now I can just continue his story. I'm gonna start a ruckus. He kept his voice firm, his words short and clipped. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? No worries. Thanks for coming by. It's always fun to just have silly nonsense fun during this silly nonsense story. You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Not a watch for Godzilla, probably. Tell me why the demo isn't starting. Oh, well, no real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, wanted to get folks to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, right. Is that... Oh, the acquired merchandise. What happened to the merchandise? Norikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Oh, you know, it's just... Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Okay, now I can do it. I think. No. Yes! I suppose it makes sense that the two stories have been linked, considering that he's been hyping up going to this meeting this entire time. Oh, oops, sorry to keep you waiting, a girlish voice exclaimed. A moment later, a furry figure came charging into the demo room. Oh, whoa, ooh. The crowd fell into silence at the sight of a young woman in a costume. The cat girl panted visibly. Her arms were loaded with cardboard boxes. You're late, the event organizer snapped. What the heck have you been doing? Grabbing the newcomer by one paw, he vanished with her into the back room. The chubby-cheeked girl wrapped up her magic routine and hurried after them. The audience stared at the now empty stage in confusion. Several minutes passed before the organizer reappeared. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, he called out. But now I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. At a signal, the young woman and the cat appeared on stage. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary diet works. It's magic. Oh shit, the young woman exclaimed cheerfully. The cat nodded and threw out her arms. For the first time in history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. And with that, the sales demo was underway, a good 25 minutes behind schedule. 5 minutes into the presentation, things began to go awry. An angry clamour filled the room. What the heck are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd actually try to sell something like this! The outrage had been triggered by something the young woman on stage had said. She inadvertently let slip the burning hammer was the sort of thing you could buy at a 100 yen shop. The would-be customers were furious to learn that they were about to be played for suckers. Most of them immediately tried to storm out of the room. Now the organizer, the full-figured woman, and the girl in the cat costume at the door, doing their best to hold back the tide. Things had gotten pretty interesting, really. Norikawa pulled out his digital camera and started firing snapshots at the angry crowd. Some modern digital cameras come with the remarkable ability to automatically trigger the shutter when the subject smiles. The function also works if the camera is presented with a TV or photo image of people smiling. There are even cases of cameras recognizing faces in the wood grating of ceilings. After all, if we can make out faces in the wood when we're gazing lazily up in the ceiling, we can't fault a camera for doing the same. Unfortunately, their frenzy was so intense that he was soon caught up with the flow and pushed out of the room. Fine. I guess I'll just need to do some interviews instead of getting pictures. Excuse me, he asked the woman. Would you mind if you asked you some... Shut your mouth! Would you mind telling me a little bit... Don't you talk to me! Could I get a word up? Unbelievable! It's unbelievable! The women were so enraged that Norikawa couldn't get any of them to give him any time of day. He felt like Chiaki. Hey. Before long, the entire crowd had surged out of the room and departed. Oh well, guess I've got enough to do for a write-up, I guess. Though it would be nice to get a quote from somebody. He decided to try for an interview with the man who organised this fiasco. How did the guy feel, for instance, about his product scam falling through? Heading back to the event room, Norikawa passed by the cat mascot. The cat gave him a tiny nod and walked off about a wait, is that a pointless one? It seems to be because it's only 35 past, not 40 past. He couldn't see the face of the girl inside the costume, but she seemed genuinely dejected that Burning Hammer had been a bust. Hey, I'm Norikawa, freelance reporter. I was wondering if you could have 5 minutes of your time. The organizer sat alone in the midst of his ruined displays. Oh, it's you. The man's voice had lost all its earlier punch. Here, my credentials. Minorikawa handed him a business card. The man introduced himself as Yanagishita, and Minorikawa got right down to business. So you're sailing over, Mr. Yanagishita. How do you feel right now? How do I feel? How do I feel to be without a home, a complete unknown? Well, today is another day, I guess. Minorikawa was impressed by the guy's candor. I'm a little surprised to hear that, he said. That's maybe, like, it's some sort of, like... I mean, it's too much to think of it right now, but, like, I imagine, like, there are some combinations you can't really slot into, but the problem is that it's available now, so it must be somewhere on this timeline. I figured you'd be most disappointed. Oh, sorry. I figured you'd be more disappointed. Oh, I'm plenty disappointed. I took a big gamble here to repay my debts, and I lost. Yanagishita didn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Debts? Minorikawa said. There was a girl I was in love with, Yanagishita said. I wound up spending everything on her. He said wistfully into the distance. Interesting, Minorikawa said. You wouldn't be the first man to get such thanks for a woman. Yeah, Yanagishita said. I suppose not. A rueful smile crossed his lips. This guy didn't strike Minorikawa as a dyed-in-the-wool scam artist. But it decided it was time to stop feeling sorry for myself, Yanagishita said. There are plenty of people in the world who have way worse off, you know? You got that right, Minorikawa nodded in agreement. So I just figured, well, as long as I'm still alive, maybe another opportunity will come my way. A more earnest smile broke through Yanagishita's full-on expression. Minorikawa wished Toyama could have been there to hear this fellow. I have a friend who's an incredible amount of debt myself, Minorikawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there was a big mix-up with the scratch cards in the magazine and... Scratch cards? Wait a minute. This borderline seems like a reference to himself in real life. It's not important, Minorikawa said hurriedly. Letting more people know about this whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favours. Anyhow, debt is a terrible thing, Minorikawa said sagely. Oh, by the way, this is unrelated, but are you familiar with a group called SOS? Apparently there's some legendary street game here in Sumeria. SOS? Yanagishita shook his head. No, never heard of them. Guess I'm not going to get any leads on that case here. Minorikawa wondered if there was anything worth asking this guy. Maybe Yanagishita would be willing to take his Shibuya Now survey. Taking a little bit of the burden off Chiaki seemed like a good idea. Hey. I have another question. How do you feel about your life right now? Huh? How do you feel about your life? Your products aren't selling. You can't repay your debts. And yet, you still refuse to go up, believing the opportunity will come your way. How do you feel about that? Yanagishita paused in thought. I'd say I'm a pretty lucky guy. Minorikawa was taken somewhat aback by that response. I haven't been able to sell any burning hammer, and I'm sure I can't pay off my debts. But even so, Yanagishita looked at Minorikawa right in the eye. The two cute young girls I got working for me stuck through me thick and thin. Sometimes maybe you just need to be content with something like that, you know. That was refreshingly forthright. Minorikawa was surprised. And I mean, sort of I've got debts, Yanagishita went on. In the long run, none of that matters, really. Not really. There was a knock at the door. Oh, excuse me a moment, Yanagishita said. Oh, I wonder who that could be. He opened the door and his face froze. It's the debt collectors. Damn! Wasn't quite quick enough. Mr. Minorikawa? Yes? You'll have to pardon me. I've had a little something crop up here, so if you don't mind... Oh sure, no problem. I've got interviews I need to get to anyway. Just... Yanagishita was out of the door before Minorikawa could even... Oh shit, Minorikawa was talking. Could even finish. Stepping out in the hallway, Minorikawa could faintly hear voices from the adjoining demo room. It sounded like Mr. Yanagishita and the other two other men. Minorikawa couldn't quite make out any words, but he could tell they were arguing about something. Here's my question. Are the debt collectors for Yanagishita and Minorikawa's boss, they're not the same people, right? It just happens to be both sets of two. Something along those lines. Man, people who run companies sure have it rough. You hang in there, Mr. Yanagishita. Oh, perfect timing. Minorikawa stopped short of a familiar voice that called out to him. It was the man he'd spoken to earlier that afternoon about the surveillance cameras. Hey, come here a second. The man waved him over. It's been so long since I've done his voice, I can't remember what it was. Oh, what is it? I'm really busy right now. I've got a scoop for you. Saw it with my own eyes. Norikawa raised an eyebrow. Give me the details. Okay, so a little while ago, I saw some foreign guy in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. A foreigner in handcuffs. Had there been some kind of international sting or something? Whatever the case, it wasn't such a rare thing to see. Where was this? Just over here. Behind the police station. Norikawa furrowed his brow. A suspect arguing with a cop outside a police station wasn't all that weird. Still, he had a feeling he was missing something here. Well, the big thing is what happened afterward, the man said. Afterward? The man leaned in conspiratorially. The detective undid the guy's handcuffs and let him run off. Well, what? I'm telling you, man. It had to have been like a bribe or something. A bribe? That seemed unlikely. I swear it's what it had to be. There was some wheel greasing going on. You're not making this up, are you? Norikawa asked. He regarded the man coldly, but the guy still seemed quite legitimately worked up. It's all true. Please, you have to report this to police right away. What do I have to? Norikawa asked. If you have a tip for the police, go do it yourself. He didn't quite manage to stop himself from saying that out loud. No, I can't. I'm no good when it comes to the police. Besides, they're never going to believe someone like me. Is he in debt as well? Okay, so maybe he had a point there. But you're some broadcast reporter, right? The cops will totally take your word for it over some random nobody. Shit, I'm doing the wrong voice again. Norikawa didn't have time to debate the point. It was just easier to make the call. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. The man bowed repeatedly, looking pretty grateful. Bowed. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't been able to get any business done with those scary thugs around. What thugs? What line of business are you in anyway? What? The man suddenly went pale. I gotta get going. He skidded off in alarm. Norikawa was left to wonder what this guy's line of work actually was. But he had more important things to worry about at the moment. He hurried off in the other direction. Before long, he arrived back at Café Lautrec. The clock on the wall showed it was close to 2 o'clock. He had to somehow fill 6 more pages before the loan company came to Heaven Publishing to collect. He booted up his laptop. What's this coffee shop? Said a low, stern voice. You've got no good magazines here. Norikawa looked up. An older man was complaining to one of the waitresses. Oh, shit. I do now. I also think of Lautrec as, it was like a DS game I have, which is like a weird, like, knockoff Professor Layton or something. And that's what I think of when I hear Lautrec. Wait, isn't he... He's that guy who, like, swindles you, or like, he kills the firekeeper? It was the same guy who'd been yelling at his daughter earlier. Evidently, he'd been here at this cafe the whole time. Haven't you got any magazines for me to read yet? The man's face was a mask of irritation. Norikawa glanced at the magazines in the rack. They were mostly geared towards a younger reader. The waitress sifted through the stacks and pulled something from the back. Perhaps this would be to your liking, sir, she said. She held out an issue of 4-Star Journal Gossip. Don't be ridiculous, the man said dismissively. This is vulgar, low-grade filth. I wouldn't even use the paper it's printed on for compost. It was a harsh way to put it, but Norikawa couldn't fault him for speaking the truth. The man continued grumbling as he went back to his seat. Norikawa headed over to the magazine rack himself and picked up the Gossip. He opened the front cover and found a scratch card still inserted within. If these things were still out there, it was bad news. Toyama might find himself even further in debt. Bah! Norikawa yanked the scratch card out and tore it to pieces. Sir, what are you doing? The waitress rushed to stop him, only for the pieces to rain down on her like confetti. The magazine itself is still perfectly readable, Norikawa said. There's no problem here. He strode back to his seat and gazed at his laptop screen. It still hadn't finished booting up. In the meantime, he decided to give Chiaki a call. She picked up right away. Hello, Norikawa asked. Hey. Hi there. Good to hear from you, Chiaki replied. Wait. Has progress. I did it, Chiaki said, her voice overcome with emotion. I managed to get people to hear me out. Of course you did. You got your pointers from me. Yes, I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Mino. Her mood had done a complete 180. Minorikawa allowed himself a little sigh of relief. Okay then, he said. Head back to the editing department and put together an article for me. You got it, sir, Chiaki chirped in reply. I'll leave it as soon as I'm done with my things on my end, Minorikawa told her. Just use the DDP to slot your piece into the right slot of the layout. Abbreviation for desktop publishing. Refers to the process of editing a manuscript's layout on the computer preparatory, sending it to the printer. Also used to refer to the software used for creating such layout. Creating layout data is ready for printing, but has not actually been printed yet, is also sometimes called the DTP. Sure thing. Norikawa hung up and then rolled his sleeves. He sure was towing a pretty narrow line today. The Burning Hammer event had kept him a little while longer than anticipated. He needed to clean up his copy as soon as possible in order to stick to his schedule. When he turned back up toward his laptop, however, he froze with shock. What? His laptop monitor was still a black empty screen. There's no way it would take this long to finish booting up. Oh, it couldn't be. No, don't let it be true. Has his computer decided to pick now, of all times, to give up the ghost? Oh, there is. I'm probably going to stop the stream soon anyway, but cheers for coming by. And I'll probably stream next to this of the weekend, maybe. Minorikawa felt the blood drain from his face. What was my decision? I assume this doesn't change anything, but I'll just try it anyway. No, nothing really came to mind. It was about time to wrap this up. Thank you for your time, Mr. Yanagisha. If you'll excuse me, I have to get to another interview. Oh no, of course. Allow me to walk you out. Yanagisha rose to his feet and Minorikawa got up to leave. Oh, that wouldn't be necessary. It's no trouble. I'm heading out myself. Gotta run before those guys showed up. What guys do you mean? Oh, nobody. Just a personal thing is all. They parted ways outside the building, and Minorikawa headed to the cafe to put his article together. I guess pointless jumps are just like pointless options. Okay, nothing. Just a little less information. A little more action. So Isawa's still blocked up, but we can jump to Archie. I think? As luck would have it, they soon found a crowd in their path, backs turned toward them. Excited voices rose up from the throng. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight! A fight, as the name implies, that takes place out on the street, typically using the bare hands and no weapons. Even a bare-handed fight can result in serious injuries though, which is why they're pretty illegal. Archie clutched Hitomi's hand good and tight. Whatever you do, don't let go. Without a moment's hesitation, he ploughed his way through the crowd. It is, once again, so hard to do Archie after doing Yanagisha for so long. Emerging on the far side of the gathering, Archie saw the main road ahead. Cars were zipping past in a steady stream. What do we do? There were too many cars for them to rush across the street without getting hit. But they couldn't exactly sit and wait for the light to change. And they certainly couldn't go back the way they came. Here we go, we're going to save Kano. The pursuers were getting closer and closer. Hitomi! Archie shouted. I think going across will save it, so let's do the wrong thing. We're turning back! Who what? Follow me! Archie whirled nimbly around and sprinted back to the way they came. The two pursuers skidded to a halt, startled to see Archie rushing toward them. The men spread out to bar the way, but Archie wasn't trying to slip past them. He headed straight for the guy on the right with a lunging tackle. He caught his target full on, dropping him unceremoniously to the sidewalk. Hitomi let out a cry of alarm. In a moment that Archie had spent knocking down one opponent, the other man had snatched her up. So Hitomi was definitely the one they were after too. Whoa! Shit. Archie caught up with the kidnapper and managed to yank Hitomi free from his arms and immediately caught him in a throw. The man spun like a top as he whirled through the air. That sounds like it would hurt a lot, but they seem pretty chill right now. "We're gonna run!" Archie shouted, hoping that he bought enough time. "Right, okay." Once again, they doubled back around and ran. Stealing a quick look behind him, Archie saw the two assailants quickly getting back to their feet. This was bad. He wasn't going to be able to fight them off and keep Hitomi safe at the same time. Besides, at least one of the men had a gun. With Hitomi still in tow, he sprinted in the direction of the main row. Happily, the light had turned red and the traffic had come to a stop. If they tried to cross before their brief altercation, they probably would have been inundated by a sea of cars. Worse yet, they may have caused an accident. The two made their way across the street and then hid in a narrow alley between the two buildings. "Come on, let's go!" Archie led the way down several twisting side streets before slowing pace. By now, Hitomi was slumped and panting heavily. He wanted to give her some time to rest, but if they just hung around, their pursuers might still find them. He looked around and spotted the multi-tenant building. The nearest door was open. Bundles of flyers were set out near the entrance. Flyers for Au Revoir, the 20-second performance by the theatre troupe Wandering Angels. It tells the tale of a man named Ryu looking back on his 100-year life as a warrior. The performance features wire action as its main set piece, with Ryu and its rival Shido, damn brat also, flying high through the air, doing battle with the magical Muramasa blade and beam saber, respectively. Ooh, Muramasa. Archie peeked inside and saw piles of plywood and painted lumber. It looked like this was a storeroom for the theatre's stage props and scenery. "We can hide it out here," he said. But..." Hitomi hesitated, but Archie gave her hand a little tug. "It'll be fine. There's nobody around." They stepped inside the storeroom, and Archie quickly shut the door behind him. "We probably should rest for a bit," he said. There was a wooden platform set beside a large piece of plywood. Archie picked up a magazine that had fallen on the floor and spread it out atop the platform's dusty surface. "Here, now you can sit without getting your clothes dirty." "Thank you." Hitomi quietly took a seat. It's 4-star general gossip. "We should probably turn off our cell phones," Archie said. "It could be really bad if they rang at the wrong moment." The two powered off their phones. That'll probably come back to bite them. Archie took a cursory look around. It didn't look like there was any way in or out besides the door they come in through. There was a single window set in the wall, and it wouldn't open far enough to let them through. Shit. Hitomi let out a quiet gasp. Someone was outside the storeroom. Archie put his finger to his lips, and Hitomi gave a fearful nod. The window's frosted glass blocked out any real view in or out. So long as they stay quiet, they ought to be safe. Whoever it was outside pressed their hand to the frosted glass. Oh wait, shit, it's Death Stranding. Trying to get a glimpse inside. The blurry visage of the foreigner who'd attacked them was dimly visible. Like the man with the cane before him, this guy was quick to catch up. The man pounded on the glass. Archie swallowed the lump in his throat. If this guy got in, they had nowhere to run. Archie turned to Hitomi. "Wait a minute, shit, this is Steins Gate. We'll be fine, just sit tight." Hitomi clutched onto Archie's arm, hard. "Can I help you with something?" said a casual voice from outside. They saw the pursuer react at once, pulling back from the window. "That's just our storeroom, you know," the voice added. Archie heard footsteps scampering away. The kidnapper had run off. Archie exchanged glances with Hitomi and then let out a tiny sigh. There were more voices coming from outside now. What was up with that guy? I don't know. Yeah. Well, whatever. Let's hurry and get stuff tidied up. Man, my throat's raw. It sounded like a conversation between two men. The storeroom door opened and the men clumped their way inside. Tominari Takaya and Taro Toga, two members of the theatre troupe, the Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels' star actor, playing the lead role of Ryu in today's performance of Au Revoir, the troupe's 20-second piece. Last night he slept completely naked and caught You can't say completely naked, it's distracting. Caught a cold, leading to the sore throat he is now. Toga is the stage handling things behind the scenes. He's very irritated that Shinichi Bando, in charge of the prop, seems to have gone AWOL. So, what are we getting? Let's just grab all those folding chairs over there. Yeah. The producer said we're going to need a lot more seats all of a sudden. Mr. Aurora said that? Going alright for the troops for Asura, huh? Beats me, man. In no real hurry, the men went about carting the folding chairs away. They didn't know Archie and Hitomi sitting silently in the shadows. Ugh, not to change the subject, but how come we're using a dry ice machine and not a smoke machine? Maybe that's why my throat's bothering me. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Nobody's even operating it, and it's still drawing a ton of power. Think it's defective? Archie and Hitomi waited for the two men to finish up. If they were spotted, it would probably cause a scene, and worse still, it might alert the men who were hunting them. Once they carried off the rest of the folding chairs, the men closed the storeroom door. The foreigner could still be seen somewhere nearby, though, so Archie decided they would hide out a little longer in the room. Yeah, this blows. I want to get out back there and look for the blue van ASAP, but Archie trailed off as something occurred to him. Wait a second. Now that's weird. Hitomi looked at him inquiringly. The kidnappers already have the ransom money, yeah? Archie said. That's right. And then they told you that your sister was in some blue minivan. Isn't that kind of weird? What do you mean? Did you figure that your sister was in the minivan by herself? Well, yes. If one of the kidnappers were with her, they wouldn't need to send me to go get her. Right, Archie said. And the fact was, as soon as the kidnappers had their money, they could have just let Hitomi's sister out of the vehicle and just run off. There's no point in sending Hitomi to fetch her personally. Look of revelation dawned on Hitomi's face. Oh. That minivan had already left Dogenzaka, she said. And it came back while we were waiting for it. And it came back while we were waiting there for it, Archie finished. He thought back to his earlier run-in with the blue vehicle. So then inside the minivan, there had been a bunch of foreigners inside. Which meant the kidnappers had been trying to ambush Hitomi. They told her the sister was in that minivan to lure her to it, and the kidnappers had been lying in wait inside. Do you think they were trying to kidnap me too? That's it. Archie clapped his hands together. Then they'd let your sister go and demand a ransom for you. And then they'd make her deliver the ransom money for your release. They'd be able to get, like, infinite ransom money by constantly abducting one sister after the twin after the other. That seems a little far-fetched. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Now that she said so, Archie realized it was kind of a ridiculous idea. So, what if the kidnappers really were trying to kidnap me? Hitomi said. But they kidnapped the wrong person. As in, yeah, they accidentally abducted the wrong twin. I mean, I guess that would have been easy to botch up. That would imply they wanted me specifically, and not my sister. Hitomi paused briefly and thought. Maybe you're hotter than your sister or something, Archie suggested with enthusiasm. Hitomi shook her head. That can't be it. If anything, it's the other way around. Compared to my sister, I'm just... Whoa, hey, stop right there. Archie had to interrupt her. You're not just anything. Please, don't. I'm just... Tears had welled up in Hitomi's eyes. Why did this have to happen to her? Why not me? Hang on, just a moment. Okay, so he hasn't solved Kano's ending. Whoa, hey, come on, don't cry. I'm sorry. Cheer up. It's like that song says. Don't just stand there, wipe those tears away. Everything be alright. Everything is be alright. That one. You know it? Is that? I think it is that song, shit. Yeah, that's the one. Put your hands in mine. Every single bee's a light. Huh? You know, every single bee's a light. He told me that at a giggle. Everything is be alright. You've got the lyrics wrong. It's everything is be alright. Oh, right, yeah. I guess that makes more sense, I guess. Archie's mouth curled into a sheepish smile. Oh. Anyway. Alright, I think we've laid low long enough, Archie said at last. Think we should be on our way? He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yucks. That was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch it. The theatre guys from earlier had returned and they sounded a bit panicked. Tomoru Takaya and Taro Toga, two members of the theatre troupe, The Wandering Angels. Takaya is the... Hang on. Is the angel star actor, but lately, in addition to appearing on stage, he's been taking on TV drama and film work as well. The next role he's been slated for is Sun TV's upcoming suspense drama, Sumo Queen 2, where it looks like he'll play the referee who utters the lame line, "Looks like things are getting heavy," upon discovering the victim's dying message inscribed to the corner of the sumo ring. Her folks have been messing around with the storeroom a bunch lately. Yeah. And did you hear who's behind it? Some juvenile delinquents. Like a gang? Wow, that takes me way back. Alright, let's hurry on back. Archie rushed over to the door. He tried turning the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. Oh, come on, are you freaking kidding me? He paced frantically around the room, pulling his hair. We're locked in! And that door was the only way in or out. Archie and Hitomi were well and truly trapped in the storeroom. This is all my fault, Archie said. It was my idea to hide out here in the first place. But he bowed to Hitomi repeatedly. We're never going to find that blue minivan now. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Hitomi replied. She scowled thoughtfully. They powered their phones back on in order to call for help. Oh, Hitomi chirped. That's me. She took a look at the LCD display. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Ah, okay. Hitomi began typing out a response with practice ease. More wild delusions rose in Archie's mind. Ideas or fantasies conjured up in one's mind with no logical or factual basis. People can become deluded for varying reasons about a whole host of different subjects. Thankfully, Archie's delusions here are the ultimately harmless sort. Stealing a quick glance at Hitomi, he noticed her gazing happily at her phone's screen. His delusions ran even more wild. While he was still fretting furiously, Hitomi finished typing a response. So, what did you wind up saying? Archie asked. I explained the situation. That we're trapped in the storeroom and you got some guys chasing after you and you're looking for some van? Yes, I also asked him to please keep this a secret from my family and the police. Whoever this Tanaka guy was, Hitomi sure seemed to put a lot of trust in him. A short while later, Hitomi's phone chimed in reply. She checked the screen in a flash, all eagerness. Archie... Wait. Couldn't help but ask. So, what's that Tanaka guy have to say? A hint of jealousy slipped into his voice. He says he's going to try and find the minivan for us. Huh? If he just comes and lets us out, I could go look for it myself. He says he wants to hide out here a little longer. What the hell, seriously? He says if someone's after me, it's safer to stay where we are. Yeah, I'm out of the running, Archie thought to himself. This Tanaka guy was clearly pretty concerned for her. And there really was one reason a middle-aged man would think like that. Alright, fine. We'll wait. Archie turned his own phone off and slumped back into a huff. After 20 more minutes in the storeroom, the two were sitting in silence. Archie had run out of things to talk about. Do you think we'll ever be friends? You'll ever be friends again? You and that one guy, Susume? I think it was. Hitomi's question. Oh shit! You and that other guy, Susume? I think it was. Hitomi's question caught Archie off guard. He stammered, unsure how to respond. Hitomi shook her head. I'm so sorry. I barely know you. That wasn't sensitive of me. No, it's alright. I mean, sometimes I wish it could go back to the way the things used to be, Archie said. He let out a tiny sigh. What that curious guy said was the truth. I was the guy who founded SOS. Do you know what I mean by that? Hitomi gave a slight nod. I never wanted to be in charge of a gang or anything, but I knew that if I left, SOS would just fall apart, and I didn't want anyone else to get caught up over who would take my place, you know? So I thought long and hard about it. Looking for a way for folks to stay friends, even after I was gone. The loud voices echoed through the pool hall that served as SOS HQ. an establishment for playing pool, more formally known as pocket billiards. The particular place is a pool bar serving alcohol. The standard pool table is rectangular in shape, supports 6 pockets, 4 in the corner and 1 in the middle each alongside, and supports multiple games including 9-ball, 8-ball and rotation. There are also tables without pockets. This style is known as carom billiards. How far in the hour are we? Oh, we're getting close, okay. What do you mean, we're leaving? Susumu was positively red in the face. You're a founder, Archie. You can't just up and quit. Susumu had been almost like a younger brother to Archie. If anyone was going to try and stop him, Archie knew full well it'd be Susumu. Look, I'm not gang leader material. All I've been trying to do is make sure we've all able to have fun. That's not true, Susumu said. Think about all the stuff you taught us. Don't you remember? Every man gets to make one request in his life that cannot be denied. Those are your words, Archie. Did I say that? It's the heaviest thing you've ever said. Then to Archie's consternation, Susumu got down on his hands and knees. I'm begging you, please don't leave. Without you, SOS is nothing. Archie could feel his conviction waver. I'm begging here, from one man to another. This is my one request. Susumu, I'm sorry. Archie could barely crack out the words. I'm leaving you in charge. You can't, Susumu pleaded. Please don't say that. Archie turned his back on him in silence. Please, Archie, why would you listen? I can't possibly beg any harder than this. Enough of all the request nonsense, Archie grimaced. What? Look at you, down on your hands and knees like that. Pathetic. Ultimately stems from the Greek pathetikos, meaning subject to feeling or capable of motion. Over time, the meaning has slightly changed to signify exciting the passions and, later on, the more modern sense of arousing one's pity. Archie spoke as harshly as he could, fighting to master his true feelings. I'm fed up with you. All of you. With each word out of his mouth, Archie could feel his own heart breaking. But if he could make the others hate him, at least it would give SOS a reason to stay together. How can you say that? Don't you try and pull that crap. Susumu's tone had changed from sadness to anger. Fine then, hero. I'm never asking you for anything again. I'll do what I'll take the reins of SOS. As she walked away, waving vaguely without looking back. Good luck. I mean it. Once he stepped out of the pool hall, he wiped his sleeve across his face. He came away wet with tears. Sometimes I think that maybe I could apologize to those guys and we could get back to the good old days again. But that's never gonna happen, not unless Suzune gets better. He stared into the distance at nothing in particular. At least he sorted out how he felt about his former pals. Is there nothing that can help your sister? Hitomi asked. She needs a heart transplant. And the problem with heart transplants is that the timing is tricky. The act of surgically implanting one's person's heart into another's body. Such an operation is typically only performed on a patient with severe heart disease who cannot survive without a new heart. There are strict requirements that must be met before a heart can be transplanted, however. Chief among them, the donor must first be brain dead. Even if there's a donor available, the transplant has to be performed within 4 hours or things get dicey. Because lack of oxygen causes damage, referred to as warm ischemia, damage in any organ removed from a human body, a transplant must be carried out and blood circulation restored within a certain time window known as the total ischemic time. In the case of a heart transplant, total ischemic time is only 4 hours. Helicopters and charter jets are frequently used to rapidly transport hearts for such operations. Oh, wow, I didn't realize. Someone with a heart that's a match for Suzune would have to die somewhere near her, somewhere that they could perform the surgery within that 4-hour window. The odds of that happening are so small, it would almost be a miracle, which is what my sister's been waiting for. Archie thumped the left side of his chest. If my heart were to do the trick, I would gladly let her have it. Damn it, and I've got a strong heart, too. He thumped himself in the chest again. He didn't mention it to Hitomi, but Suzune's blood type made finding her a heart transplant even more difficult. She had Bombay blood, a type of blood that does not correspond to the more common types of A, B, O, and AB. In some instances, a standard blood typing yields a result of O in such individuals. First discovered in the city of Bombay, now Mumbai, on India's west coast, the blood type takes its name from the city due to its relative high incidence rate among its inhabitants. It was one of the rarest blood types in the world. Apparently there were only a few dozen people in all of Japan who had it. Rare blood types such as Bombay are scarce enough that even nationwide blood centres seldom have them in sufficient supplies. For this reason, when such blood types are discovered in everyday testing, samples are quickly taken to be frozen, stored at temperatures lower than 80 degrees below centigrade. If Suzune were ever to receive a heart transplant, it would need to be someone who had Bombay blood. Hachi? Hitomi sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Wow, she must really feel bad for Suzune. If you did manage to find a heart for your sister, what would you do? What do you mean? See, if you happened to cross someone who was a donor match. I would do anything. Anything? Yeah, whatever it took. I'd risk my own life if it meant helping Susanne. I mean that at that point, I'd assume God had already granted me a miracle or something, you know. Mr. Tanaka? Unfortunately for those two, it's not Mr. Tanaka. Right now, Tanaka is at the Osawa residence on his way to speak with Kenji Osawa, who's washing dishes after lunch. Alright, so that's how we end his, but... Hitomi's voice was barely a squeak. For a moment, all was silent. Maybe it's just a cat, Archie suggested. Or not. We're gonna do like everyone's before we get a chance to do Kano's. The doorknob rattled ominously. You really think that's Tanaka? Archie asked. I'm not sure. If it were him, I think he'd probably say something. Archie grabbed Hitomi's hand. We'd better hide. The two of them slipped behind a large piece of plywood stage dressing. The door swung open with a loud creak. What the hell? In stepped a cat. Oh, it's just a kitty cat. A giant kitty cat walking upright. Archie and Hitomi stared in confusion as someone in the cat costume slipped into the room. There was something vaguely sinister about the fuzzy figure. The cat had both hands stuffed into its pockets as it shuffled, and it shuffled as it walked, dragging one leg. You think that's someone of the theatre troupe? Archie whispered. Maybe. The two huddled in the shadows, pressed almost cheek to cheek. They watched as the cat rifled around some inside its pockets and then pulled something out. It was a bundle of keys. No doubt the ones that he used to get inside. Archie's eyes fixed on the furry mitt that held them. It was stained dark red. That could be only one thing. Blood. In that moment, Archie finally realized what was going on. That's no theatre guy. It was the assassin. He'd used the catsuit to slip past the theatre people. Somehow got his hand on the storeroom keys. Now he tossed the keys away and delicately adjusted the costume's wobbly head. Hitomi, we gotta run. Huh? Hitomi seemed frozen, mesmerized. The cat turned directly toward them. The fur around its mouth was stained crimson. Hitomi let out a high-pitched cry of shock. This is not Tama, I feel. The cat drew its, but I'm not sure, its other hand out of its pocket. Yeah, clutched in its mitt was a gun. Archie and Hitomi had nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Oh, wait a minute. It's because... it's because Tama took off the suit. He took the suit. Disguised in the cat costume, the killer managed to corner Archie and Hitomi. But where'd he get that costume? As it happened, it's Tama's fault. She tossed the suit away when taking it off, allowing the assassin to find it and use it to deceive the theatre troupe and gain access to the storeroom. Little could she have known. There's our answer to that. But Tama's story keeps going here. So maybe, like, next time I play, I should do that, but it is kind of late now, so I'm gonna stop. But, so I didn't quite get into the end, but 3 of them are pretty close. 4 of them, actually, and Kano is absolutely nowhere. But we'll get to him eventually. So this has been a very interesting hour. And as I said earlier in the stream, I will probably next stream this on the weekend. I'm not sure if Saturday or Sunday is better for me yet. I'll just see how I go then. It also just depends on when I feel like doing it. Actually, now that I think about it, Saturday's probably not good for me, so maybe it'll be Sunday. But either way, if you're here, either live or VOD, thanks for coming by. I hope you have a good day, morning, night, etc, etc, etc. And I will see you next time.